So this is a picture of a World War One aerial photographer, and I'm sure you've seen plenty of black and white pictures from that era, especially if you're up around my age or maybe even down into your 40s, or if you're an airplane enthusiast. So these type of pictures I like because it's historical. But what I always found weird about this is why does this guy's eye look like this? I mean, there's no reason. I wear goggles when I fly. I don't have a big giant white pupil with a dot for a fucking eyeball. And then today I seen this picture of Joe Biden. Look at his skin. Look at this guy's skin. What? I've never seen that guy on TV like that. What's all this? And then I got to looking a little closer, and if we look through the fucking lens here, you'll see the same thing. You see the white eye with the dot in the center? You see it? I can move it up here and make it easier. See the white eye there with the dot? See the white right there with the dot? I don't know what the fuck these things are. But they need to be dealt with. Because we're not stupid to whatever the fuck these things are. I can clearly see a pupil with a dot. And it's a really big pupil for the size of the head. Here's Joe Biden. You can clearly see the pupil. I mean the round of the eye, the white. Same here. And there's the dot right there, and there's the dot right there. I don't know if I can make this any bigger without blurring it. There it is there. There it is there. Well, I'm not making it up. I'm an expert at finding patterns. That's how my work works. That's how my work is created. Because I see patterns and I have a memory. So those two things, you can find stuff really quick. As soon as I seen Dickhead's eyeball, I remembered exactly where it was. I'm telling you, we're not here alone. We just ain't. We just aren't. Because as soon as I saw his skin all wrinkled and fucked up like this, and I've never seen it like that, I knew something was up. Nobody's eyes look like that. Nobody's eyes are that big. Somebody said, "Well, that's because of the lens or whatever." No, because I wear the same goggles. They're not magnifying goggles. You don't need magnifying goggles. And let's say he was wearing magnifying goggles. You gonna tell me this guy is too? Yet they both got that same weird ass eyeball that looks like something from an insect? I don't think so. I think these motherfuckers are taking on the form of humans, and through TV and some other sleight of hand, we don't get to see them in a real form. Honestly. It's right there. You can see it as clear as day. There it is right there. There's the dot for the eye. There it is right there. There's the dot for the eye with the white. There's the dot for the eye with the white. Okay? These fuckers. Oh, you want to see something even more bizarre? Hang on. This is the back of Donald Trump's head going up on Air Force One. Why is he so white? Why is his hand white over here? And his hand is white over here. Hang on. This is him turning around at the top of the stairs and facing the public. What is this? I mean, I'm assuming this is supposed to be his tie. What's this? And this face doesn't even look like him. I mean, what is this? Is that supposed to be his tie? Awkward moments, that's an understatement. The guy's as white as fucking snow. Which would lead me to believe if he's actually that white, that's why they put on the fucking makeup so deep that he appears to be almost orange, because they gotta hide this color. Something ain't right here, folks. Something is just not fucking right here. I mean, literally, something is not fucking correct. So here, let's look at this. I mean, what what a goofy giveaway. Watch here. So, let's see. I guess I'm gonna go. I don't know why that bar down there is missing. There it is. Okay. So watch the police officer over here. You'll see it in a second. See this cop here? Watch his hand. You see how it blows up into that? Those three? Now watch it. See how it goes back? And now watch. That finger that Jones always does was there for a minute. See it? Now watch. And then it disappears into nothing. I mean, you clearly can see it. And then watch. What in the fuck are we dealing with here? I mean, I've been catching this shit for years. See the finger? I mean, that ain't that dude's hand. There's no way. I don't know what the fuck these things are. I mean, it's as clear as day. Obviously, they're whatever them 88 things are. They're fallen, whatever they are. Whatever they are. I mean, that's it. I don't know if that's just coding in there, showing those guys. But this shit's bizarre. I'll keep working on this for the rest of my life. I'm just telling you, I'm hip to this. So whatever the fuck you guys are, we're not all dumb. We know you're there. Wow. Here's an interesting story. Wow. Here's a pair of constellations that easily slithers out of the grasp of beginner sky watcher, Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, and his snake. As night falls this week, look toward the south, and you will find it covering a large expanse of sky, the celestial medicine man, Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, which they have that wrong, but it's the rest that's important. A star pattern that teems with constellation serpents. King James of England, wow, there's a name you should know. He's the guy that wrote the King James Bible, who reigned in the 1600s. Once referred to Ophiuchus as a mediciner after made a god, because the serpent bearer was often identified with I can't pronounce it, who in Greek mythology was a mortal physician who never lost a patient by death. So he's equating this Ophiuchus to God, because only God has power over death. That's interesting, considering that the King James authorized version comes from this very guy who said that Ophiuchus was greater than death. That's an interesting concept, when considering I've been telling people that these guys weren't into what you think they're into. They're into this shit. Ophiuchus is a broad. Okay, switching back and forth, dresses like a man, dresses like a woman. The devil wears Prada. They tell you this shit all the time. So King James, who authorized the writing of the Bible, was all into Ophiuchus. What a surprise, surprise, surprise. I didn't write this, they did. I'm just saying. The Bible is not written in the context that people think it is. It's written in the different various occultic perspectives. So all I'm doing is just backing up my work. Why would King James be involved with Ophiuchus on any level? It's a good question.
We're watching an historic peace agreement here at the White House being signed between these three nations and the United States. This is certainly a big day, this peace accord normalizing relations between Israel and these two Arab nations, Bahrain and the UAE.
Brianna, obviously a very significant day for the Middle East with regard to this historic moment, also for the Trump administration, President Donald Trump in particular.
Okay, so breaking news: Israel, the UAE, Iran signed historic peace accord at the White House. And everybody's, oh, how great this is. And I read all the comments, and there wasn't one person there that even knew what this was in relation to. Trump 4 more years and blah, 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 you dumbasses. Yeah, what's with the zigzag here, right? So let's see what happens with this treaty biblically. Let's see. This here. What's this say? 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they say peace, peace. For when they say peace, peace, and safety, then suddenly destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Basically, what that means is that what that means is that everybody's going to go along with this, and then you can guess out of these 4 countries which one's going to break the deal. This is a fake, this is a false treaty. Anybody that's ever studied the Bible knows all about this. This is a fake treaty. Halfway through it, they're going to break it. And they're going to catch everybody off guard. So I'll let you figure out which one of these groups up here might be the one to break the treaty. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it up to you. I think I've educated you well enough to figure out, of these flags here, which one of them you think might be dealing underhandedly. I'm just saying is all. This is a false treaty. This is a significant piece of evidence about where we are in the big in their big clockwork. Do you see? So here's the treaty. Big deal, right? Big deal here. And one of these 4 is going to break that treaty, and just like a woman that goes into labor, just like that, so destruction will come upon whoever. I guess the other guys that are signing the piece of paper, and it says none shall escape. So that should be our little lesson for today. So I'm going to ask you, which one of these countries right here, which one of these countries do you think is going to violate this treaty, so much so that it's explicitly written about biblically? Now, is that prophecy or is that just a script? Kind of like a script. It's not prophecy. They're just telling you what they're doing. And we all know who's doing it, right? So I'll let you figure out which one of these countries here is going to break the deal and launch an attack on their enemies after they said, okay, yeah, don't worry about it. You know, there's an old joke, but it's, you know, it's using the mere psychology. How does a Jew say fuck you? Trust me. So I'll just let you figure out which one of these countries might break the treaty. Oh, cornball. Trump handed the Israeli Prime Minister the key from the White House and all of America. Although I don't believe this is a symbolic key. Yeah, interesting, that little Saturnian top on the top of the key there. And why not? And here's the number 9 right here. See it? Gee whiz, I wonder what that's doing in there. Wow, who would ever seen that? Oh yes, the chosen ones. The ones who murdered their brothers. The ones who started a world war to cover the dirty deed that they did. And then blamed it on a bunch of innocent fucking people called Germans. Wow. Tasteless. But they're good at that kind of stuff. This is the key. Let me show you something. So I want to show you just some biblical verses about this stupid here treaty that old Donald Trump, but this dumb bullshit is either involved strictly in it or is just dumber than a box of rocks. When ye therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, okay? 2 Thessalonians tells us more details of this person who makes the covenant and breaks it in the middle of the week after 3.5 years. Okay, so Trump, didn't he just make a deal? It's, what is it? Isn't it 4 years per term? So he just made a deal. The second 3.5 years is when the shit starts. And then it goes on to say, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin, that's the man of lawlessness, should be revealed, the son of perdition, who upholdeth and exalt himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. In other words, it's the whole BLM thing. Oh, look at us, we're so wonderful. And then it goes here. The Jews will make a covenant with this person who will 3.5 years later stop the sacrifices in the Jewish temple by surrounding Jerusalem with his armies and proclaiming himself as God. Please note that this is not a specific peace treaty but a covenant. I'm not buying it. In the field, the Bible end times event signing of a 7-year covenant with Israel is significant, especially in these times when Israel must be constantly on guard, surrounded by its nations that wish to destroy Israel. Yeah, Trump just gave the key to the whole fucking United States to them guys. Well, they got our launch codes, so big deal. But the bottom line is what Trump said, basically. He said, you have America's full cooperation in whatever you want to do. That's what that key is. But after 3.5 years, this treaty, whatever it is going to be broke. And for all I know, the real ones came into office when Trump came into office 3.5 years ago. So my guess is the second time, if he gets in, that all of this peace shit that he's been doing, I think that's going to go out the window. I think all of this Mr. Nice Guy stuff with Trump is going to go out the window, and I think he's going to be doing all of Israel's bidding. Because what happens when you have a peace treaty? Well, that means that you're signing certain waivers that say you won't do this and you won't do that. And, you know, if you just stand down and trust us, you don't have to worry, nothing's going to happen. And then when they're disarmed, so to speak, that's when you attack them. This isn't that hard to figure out, guys. This stuff is, you know, and it clearly says, none of this stuff will happen until you see the man of lawlessness. And who do we see the man of lawlessness? It's the whole BLM movement, right? The anarchists, all of them running around. So all of this stuff is all of this stuff is falling into place. Whether it's scripted or whether it's actual divinity, hard to say. But it's obvious that, if nothing else, they're trying to make it play out that way. This is why I said, you know, you guys, you have to get this whole thing with the Father straight in your head. Because a lot of this stuff is, you know, if you read down here, it says Abrahamic, what is it? It says right here. Let's see. Abrahamic treaty. You see that? It's an Abrahamic treaty, which means it's like a religious thing. And didn't it just say here? Didn't it just say here That it's not like a regular treaty. That it's more, it's a religious type of a thing. So my point is, we're definitely in the time frame for all of this crap. That's why I'm telling you, get your shit straight. You know, and you just watch this stuff unfurl. Because it's gonna. That treaty they just signed is a fake treaty. Who in the fuck would sign a treaty with those guys? Dude, the number 9 is right there. I mean, why is it that we can see this code and nobody else can? I mean, think about it. But this is telling you that's her number. Now, her could be this dude putting on a wig and high heels. It's still her. But it's the bottom line is, this is not good stuff. This is bad. So just trying to get your shit straight, you know. You learned this stuff. You found my page and you learned this stuff and you did your own study for a reason. So it's time for you to put it to use. Start looking out for yourself, because this shit's gonna go goofy, I think. I think this whole Trump's this wonderful guy, I think all that's going to change if he gets in the second time. And my guess is he's going to get in the second time, because these guys need him to do their bidding. Unless, for some reason, they want Kamala Harris, because she's the woman, to be in charge, because Biden is so cuckoo. It'll really be her. And he's already messed up and said a Harris and Biden administration. So they've already kind of picked that out, if that's the road they go. But this is very telling. Because that's her number. So, just giving you a little update. This here peace treaty deal that they're making a big deal about, anybody that ever read the Bible, ever really looked at it, knows that treaty is fake as fuck. So, keep your eyes open.